Your wife is still alive. The words pierce the rain-soaked silence of a memorial garden, where mourners huddle under black umbrellas. A billionaire, cloaked in grief, stands before a marble plaque, his world unraveling as a young black girl, a homeless orphan, steps forward with a truth no one dares believe. She's faced dismissal, scorn, and the sting of racial bias. Her voice ignored by police, her presence unseen by a city that overlooks kids like her. Yet her words carry a spark that could ignite justice. Will her courage unravel a chilling conspiracy, or will it cost her everything? Stay until the end to discover how one voice can change the world. If this grips your heart, subscribe to catch our latest stories and share where you're watching from in the comments. What secrets lie beneath the surface? Keep listening to find out. The memorial garden is a hush of gray, rain falling like whispered regrets. Umbrellas bloom black over a somber crowd, their murmurs swallowed by the drizzle. A billionaire in a tailored coat stands before a marble plaque, its carved name gleaming wet. His wife, lost to the sea 2 years ago. His jaws tight, eyes distant, grief a heavy shadow. Then, a voice, small, piercing, cuts through. Your wife is still alive. He freezes, breath catching. A young black girl, no older than 12, stands at the crowd's edge, her tattered hoodie clinging to her thin frame. Her eyes burn with a truth that unsettles the air. What did you say? His voice is low, edged with disbelief. The girl steps closer, undaunted. I saw her. She's not dead. An assistant, a wiry man in a suit, scoffs under his breath. Sir, let's get you out of this rain. She's just a kid. The billionaire raises a hand, silencing him. Speak. Her gaze holds steady. I was by the docks, hiding. They pulled her from the water, bleeding, scared, but alive. They shoved her into a truck with other women. Murmurs ripple through the mourners, some edging away, others leaning in. The assistant mutters, a street kid's story. Really? His tone drips with dismissal, a subtle sting of bias against her. The billionaire's eyes narrow. My wife drowned. We searched for months. No survivors. The girl shakes her head, her voice firm. She had a scar here. She traces her left arm, elbow to wrist. Short blonde hair, a necklace, gold with E and B carved on it. His heart stumbles. That scar from a skiing mishap was a secret she kept. The necklace, a gift for their 5th anniversary, never left her neck. You're lying, he says, but his voice trembles, betraying doubt. She reaches into her hoodie, pulling out a damp, frayed handkerchief. Light blue, lace-trimmed, with a single word embroidered in gold. His wife's name. His fingers graze the fabric, the world shrinking to that golden thread glinting in the rain. Where did you get this? He asks, voice barely above a whisper. Pier 9, she replies. By the cannery. I found it where they stopped the truck. I told the police, but they laughed. Said I was making it up. Her words carry a weight, the sting of being unseen, dismissed by a world that doesn't look at girls like her. He studies her face. Too young, too certain. Come with me, he says, motioning to his black sedan. The assistant protests. Sir, the press will... Now, he snaps, his tone final. As the car pulls away, the girl clutches her sleeves, staring out at the blurring city. He dials a number. Ree, it's me. I need surveillance on Pier 9, everything you can get. The line crackles. You sure about this, boss? Ree's voice is cautious. No, he admits, but I'm sure enough. At his estate, a fortress of glass and steel perched on a cliff, he leads the girl inside. The housekeeper, a stern woman with graying hair, hesitates at the sight of the soaked child. Get her dry clothes and food, he orders. The girl sits by a roaring fireplace, her small frame wrapped in a blanket. Over steaming soup and crusty bread she speaks. It was night, I was hiding by the docks. The truck was black, no plates. Men in dark clothes. One had a fake arm, plastic, clicking when he moved. He yelled at them to hurry. Her words are precise, her eyes clear. He leans forward. "Why didn't you come sooner?" Her gaze hardens. "I tried. Cops, social workers. No one listens to a kid like me. I saw your face in a paper at the shelter. Knew you'd listen." He exhales, rubbing his temples. The fire casts flickering shadows, warming the room but not his thoughts. "You're staying here tonight," he says. She blinks, surprised. "Why?" "Because you brought me something I haven't had in years." Doubt. He turns to the housekeeper. "Prepare a room." That night he sits in his study, the handkerchief on his desk, its gold thread catching the lamplight. His phone buzzes. Ree's voice is grim. "Pier 9's a ghost town, but we found tire tracks and blood traces. Not owed, and someone's been scrubbing security footage." His jaw tightens. "Someone's covering this up." Ree pauses. "There's more. The Coast Guard's logs on her accident. They were altered. Someone wanted her gone." Morning breaks, cold and grey. The assistant lingers nervously in the study. "Sir, maybe it's time to let this go." The billionaire's eyes narrow. "Why so quick to dismiss this?" The man flinches, avoiding his gaze. Later, Ree pulls him aside. "Your assistant made a call last night, encrypted. I traced it to an offshore number." His face darkens. "Keep an eye on him." The girl, now in clean clothes, sits nearby, sketching the truck she saw. Her pencil moves with precision. The man with the fake arm. He had a scar on his neck like a burn. He nods, his mind racing. Was this tied to his wife's lawsuit against a shipping empire? He looks at the girl, her small hands steady despite the world's weight. "You're not just a witness, are you?" She shakes her head. "I'm done being invisible." She shakes her head. "I'm done being invisible." The girl's words linger in the billionaire's study, a spark in the dim glow of the lamplight. Outside, fog creeps over the cliffs, cloaking the estate in a restless haze. The billionaire, his mind a storm of doubt and resolve, sets his jaw. "Then let's find the truth." The cannery at Pier 9 looms like a rusted relic, its skeletal frame swallowed by fog. The billionaire, Ree, and the girl move through the mist, their steps muffled on the cracked pavement. She points to a chain-link fence, its wires sagging. "That's where I hid. The truck stopped there." Ree scans the area with a flashlight, revealing fresh tire marks etched in the mud. Inside, the air is thick with the stench of salt and decay. A padlocked door bars a hidden room. Ree snaps the lock with a crowbar, revealing a space reeking of bleach and metal. A cot sits in the center, its restraints dangling like silent threats. On the wall, scratched faintly, "E.B." The billionaire's breath catches, his fingers tracing the letters. "She was here," he whispers, voice raw. The girl nods, her eyes scanning the shadows. "She fought to leave a sign." Ree kneels, finding a bloodied scrap of navy silk beneath the cot. The billionaire recognizes it instantly. Her scarf, a gift from their last trip to Maine. His heart clenches. Back at the estate, the assistant paces nervously in the hall, his phone clutched tightly. "Sir, maybe we should slow down," he urges, voice trembling. The billionaire's gaze hardens. "Why are you so eager to stop?" The assistant flinches, mumbling about the press, but his eyes dart away. Ree pulls the billionaire aside, voice low. "He made another call last night. Encrypted. It went to a burner in the Caribbean." Suspicion coils in the billionaire's chest. "Watch him," he orders. Later, in the study, the assistant breaks under pressure, sweat beading on his brow. "They have my sister," he confesses, voice cracking. "They said they'd kill her if I didn't report your moves." The billionaire's face is stone. "Who are they?" The assistant shakes his head. I don't know names. Just a voice. They know you're digging. The girl, sketching nearby, looks up. He's not lying. I saw fear like that in the men at the docks. In a shadowed cell far from the estate, a woman sits bound, her wrists raw from struggling. Her platinum hair is matted, but her eyes burn with defiance. She scratches a symbol into the concrete, a reversed triangle, its edges uneven but deliberate. A guard, his sneer sharp, leans close. No one's coming for you. She meets his gaze, voice steady. They will. Her fingers hide a sliver of metal pried from the cot's frame, a secret weapon for a moment yet to come. She whispers to herself, "Hold on." The guard laughs, oblivious to the fire in her. Back at the estate, the billionaire pores over files, connecting dots. Re-enters, holding a tablet. Found something. The cannery's owned by a shell company, tied to a shipping conglomerate. Same one she was suing. The girl, her pencil pausing, draws a symbol from memory, a black triangle, identical to one in Ree's files. "That's on the truck," she says, voice firm. The billionaire nods, his mind racing. Her lawsuit threatened to expose a trafficking ring. Could this be their revenge? He turns to the assistant. "You're going to help us fix this?" The man nods, eyes hollow. "They're moving her tomorrow. Pier 17, midnight." That night, the estate is too quiet, the fog pressing against the windows like a warning. The girl wakes to footsteps in the hall, slipping under her bed. She holds her breath as a shadow pauses outside the study. Papers rustle, a drawer creaks. Morning reveals the billionaire's files in disarray. "Someone was here," he says, voice tight. The girl steps forward, her voice steady. "I saw him. Same boots as the dock guards. Black, scuffed with steel toes." Her eyes meet his, unflinching. He kneels to her level. "You're more than a witness now." She nods, a flicker of pride in her gaze. Re-enters, his face grim. Pier 17's active, unmarked trucks, armed men. "We need to move." The billionaire stands, his resolve steel. "Then we go tonight." Outside, the fog thickens, hiding shadows that watch from afar. The billionaire stands, his resolve steel. "Then we go tonight." Outside, the fog thickens, hiding shadows that watch from afar. In the dim glow of the estate's war room, maps and blueprints litter the table, their edges curling under the weight of urgency. The air hums with purpose. The team gathers at dusk, the coastal wind sharp against their faces. The billionaire, Ree, the girl and the assistant huddle in the study, plotting the raid on Pier 17. The girl's sketches, precise, almost haunting, map the dock's layout. Rusted cranes, shadowed alleys, a side door under a flickering light. "That's where they'll bring her," she says, finger tracing the paper. Ree nods, checking his gear. "She's our eyes tonight." The assistant, pale and jittery, clutches a radio. "I'll signal when it's clear," he mutters, guilt heavy in his voice. The billionaire's gaze is cold. "You'd better." A female guard, skeptical, whispers to another, "Relying on a kid like her? She's got no business here." The billionaire overhears, his voice cutting. "She's the only one who saw the truth." The girl stands taller, her eyes fierce, silencing the room. At Pier 17, fog blankets the waterfront. The seas roar, a restless undertone. The team moves like ghosts, their boots silent on wet asphalt. The girl, wired with a comms unit, crouches behind a stack of crates, her small frame blending into the shadows. "Two guards by the main gate," she whispers into the radio, her voice steady. Ree signals, and the team slips past, cutting through an alley. The warehouse looms, its windows dark, but a faint hum betrays activity within. The billionaire's heart pounds as they approach the side door. Ree picks the lock, the click swallowed by the night. Inside, the air is thick with oil and salt. Crates tower high, stamped with a black triangle symbol. A muffled cry echoes from a hidden chamber. The billionaire's breath catches. He knows that voice. Ree leads them to a steel door, bolted shut. The girl points. That's it. I saw them take people through there. Ree forces the lock, revealing a dimly lit room. A woman sits bound to a chair, her wrists chafed, her platinum hair dull but unmistakable. Her eyes, sharp despite exhaustion, lock onto the billionaire's. "You found me," she whispers, voice cracking with relief. Before he can reach her, a shadow moves. A man with a prosthetic arm. Gideon steps forward, gun raised. "You're too late," he growls. "She's leaving tonight." His scar, a jagged burn across his neck, glints under the flickering light. The billionaire freezes, but Ree moves first, tackling a guard who lunges from the sides. A shot rings out, sharp and deafening. The assistant, eyes wide with desperation, dives in front of the girl as Gideon fires. The bullet catches him in the chest, and he crumples, blood pooling beneath him. "Make it right," he gasps, his hand clutching hers. The girl screams, but the billionaire pulls her back, his own gun drawn. Ree charges Gideon, wrestling the weapon free and knocking him unconscious with a swift blow. The billionaire rushes to the woman, cutting her ropes. Her hands tremble as they grip his, but her voice is firm. "I knew you'd come. I left signs, on the walls, the floor." He sees them now, faint scratches, a reversed triangle etched into the concrete, a silent cry for rescue. They move quickly, Ree dragging Gideon's limp form, the girl clutching the woman's arm. Alarms blare as they reach the exit, floodlights slicing through the fog. The billionaire fires at a pursuing guard, buying time. In the chaos, the woman stumbles, her strength fading. The girl steadies her, voice fierce. "You're not falling now." They reach the van, Ree at the wheel, and speed into the night, the warehouse shrinking in the rear view. The girl's eyes, wet with tears, meet the woman's. "I saw you that night," she says. "I couldn't forget." The woman squeezes her hand, a faint smile breaking through. "You saved me." At the estate, medics tend to the woman in a quiet room, her breathing shallow but steady. She speaks in fragments, her voice hoarse. "They wanted me gone because of the lawsuit. It wasn't just money. They're moving people, hiding them in shipments." The billionaire kneels beside her, his face etched with guilt and relief. The girl standing nearby pulls out her sketchbook, flipping to a detailed drawing of the dock's layout. "This is where they load the trucks," she says, pointing to a corner marked with the black triangle. The billionaire studies it, then her. "You're not just saving her, you're saving them all." Her gaze hardens, a spark of purpose igniting. Ree enters, holding a crumpled document from the warehouse, a list of names, dates, and destinations, all marked with the same black triangle. "They're shipping people out tomorrow," he says. The girl traces a line on her sketch, her finger stopping at an old pier. "That's the next stop. I've seen trucks there before." The billionaire nods, his voice low. "We're not done yet." In the shadows outside, a figure watches the estate, a radio crackling. "The girl's a problem," a voice hisses. Another replies, "Then make her disappear." The woman, hearing the faint static through an open comms line, grips the billionaire's hand. "They're coming for her," she warns. The girl, undaunted, meets their eyes. "Let them try." The girl, undaunted, meets their eyes. "Let them try." Her words hang in the air, a defiant spark against the estate's quiet walls. The night deepens, shadows pooling in the corners as the team prepares for a final stand. The billionaire's study is a fortress of purpose, screens glowing with satellite maps and encrypted files. The girl, her sketchbook open, traces a new path to an abandoned pier, her pencil steady despite the threat lurking outside. "This is their next move," she says. pointing to a cluster of warehouses marked with the black triangle. The billionaire nods, his face etched with resolve. We hit them before they vanish. Ree, bandaged but unyielding, calibrates a drone for surveillance. This pier's a hub. Containers, no markings, moving at dawn. The woman, her strength returning, works with a lawyer via secure video, her voice sharp. We need this public. Every name, every deal. The girl looks up, her eyes fierce. They won't hide anymore. A journalist, a woman with a clipped tone, arrives at the estate, her camera crew trailing. She eyes the girl skeptically. You're the one who saw it all. How does a kid like you know this much? Her question, laced with doubt, stings, but the girl responds coolly. Because no one bothers to watch me, I see everything. The journalist falters, then nods, setting up her equipment. The billionaire briefs her on the evidence. Ledgers, shipping routes, the black triangle tying it all to a global trafficking network. The girl adds a detail, a coded signal she overheard on a guard's radio, a sequence of numbers tied to the pier. Reconfirms it matches a shipment schedule. She's right, he says. This is our shot. At the old pier, dawn breaks grey and cold, the sea churning restlessly. The team, minus the girl who monitors from a secure van, moves silently, their breath visible in the chill. The billionaire and Ree lead a small unit, slipping past rusted gates. Containers loom like silent giants, each stamped with the black triangle. Inside one, they find passports, forged IDs, and a logbook listing dozens of names, men, women, children. Ree's drone captures footage. Armed men loading crates, their movements precise. The billionaire's heart races. This is bigger than we thought. A guard spots them and chaos erupts. Gunfire cracks the silence, bullets sparking off metal. Ree takes cover, returning fire, while the billionaire sabotages a truck's engine, delaying the shipment. They seize a hard drive from a control shack, its data a map of the network's reach. Back at the van, the girl watches the drone feed, her voice steady over the comms. 3 men, east side, heading your way. Her warning saves Ree from an ambush, but a stray bullet grazes the billionaire's arm. They retreat, the hard drive secure, as sirens wail in the distance. Local police, tipped off anonymously. The journalist, now a reluctant ally, uploads the footage live, her broadcast cutting through morning news cycles. This is the truth they buried, she declares, showing the black triangle to millions. The girl, watching from the van, whispers, They see us now. At a televised hearing, the girl steps to the podium, her small frame dwarfed by the room's grandeur. Cameras flash, senators lean forward. I was invisible, she begins, voice clear. A kid no one saw. I told the truth about a woman taken from the sea, about people hidden in crates. No one listened because of who I am. But I'm done being silent. The room stills, her words echoing across screens worldwide. The billionaire and the woman stand behind her, their faces proud but weary. The broadcast sparks outrage, hashtags trending, protests igniting. The black triangle becomes a symbol of shame. As night falls, the estate glows with quiet defiance. The team gathers the hard drive's data now public, exposing names and routes. The woman squeezes the girl's hand. You gave us a voice. The billionaire nods. This isn't over. Outside, a black sedan idles, its driver whispering into a phone. She's too loud. Another voice replies, then make it her last. The girl, gazing at the stars, feels the weight of their eyes. Let them come, she says, her voice a promise. The fight has just begun. As the stars burn bright over the estate, this story of courage and truth leaves us with a powerful truth. Even the smallest voice can ignite change. The girl's journey from invisibility to a beacon of justice challenges us all to speak out, to see the unseen. What moved you most about her fight? Was it her defiance against a world that ignored her, or the family forged in the fire of their shared battle? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Tell us where you're watching from and how this story touched your heart. Your voice matters. Thank you for joining us on this gripping tale of resilience and hope. We are grateful for your support and can't wait to bring you more stories that stir the soul. Subscribe to stay with us, and we'll meet again soon for the next chapter of courage.